and sit down.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time once again for you to shut up and sit down. I want to talk about what happened at Final Conflict. I will leave that for Fight Night. For now, we shall talk about tonight. Tonight, Original Brad will have his qualifying match for the WIW Championship Elimination Chamber match. Brad, me and you go way back, bud. But that doesn't mean I'm taking it easy on you and giving you an easy ride, pal. So go out there and earn it tonight. Also, tonight, Oliver Regem wishes to cash in his title rematch for the WIW Cruiserweight title, as he thinks that he'll have better luck with home turf advantage. And as for tonight's main event, we are going to have one hell of a match as Stephen Miller and Brad Skeens collide for the first time one-on-one. Another great show booked by me, so this should be the part where you cheer and applaud. But that might be too much to ask from you morons. Have a nice night.
Shut up and sit down.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs and welcome back to another episode of Monday Night Mayhem. We are fresh off last night's pay-per-view, which was Final Conflict, which means we are 4 Mayhems and 4 Fight Nights away from the Lockdown pay-per-view. And we are kicking things off tonight with the League of Gods, who are coming down here, who, after requesting a rematch with the Linebacks, Kazarian Xander and Patrick Green. What had occurred is that Damas believes that because he didn't request the match and it wasn't a Greek-style open challenge match, the general manager had forced them to compete in the match against the Linebacks. They were not ready, and therefore they suffered a defeat to them, and they believe that means that it doesn't count. Quite contradictory statement there, but that's what Damas is believing anyway. And he's out here with Black Jesus tonight to request that these two get a rematch with the tag team champions. They thoroughly believe they can beat them. They've done it before, so it's understandable. And of course, they are looking to push on for some tag team title gold themselves later down the line. But the question is, can they get the job done tonight? Because they take 2 defeats in a row to the Linebacks. You can't imagine them being high contenders to go face them at Lockdown for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships. And you got to remember that other teams are going to be lurking around, looking for their opportunity. The Cottrells, one of them, of course, Justice, who I'm sure will be gunning desperately for a tag team rematch, that is for sure. But let's get the Linebacks down here tonight. The Mayhem Tag Team Champions, 2-time Mayhem Tag Team Champions on the by far their longest stint. And finally joined back at ringside by Mr. Coach Wilson. It is the Mayhem Tag Team Champions, Kazarian Xander and Patrick Green, the Linebacks. They haven't been looking as impressive as of late in their victories, but they have been picking up the victories. And they've been doing it without Coach Wilson as well, and that's a worrying sign, because before they weren't really winning without Coach Wilson. They were scraping through title matches with count-out and DQ victories. But with Coach Wilson, they've always been so dominant, so powerful, and that's why they ask him to come down to the ring all the time. Recently, due to medical conditions caused by the Wolfpack, of course, as you can see by all the bandages, he hasn't been able to attend as much. But believe it, that he is the coach is the most supportive man for the Linebacks. And to be honest, we're waiting for the day that these guys drop it. They've held the title for a long time, but their dominance still remains. Is anyone in the Mayhem Tag Division going to be capable of taking away the Mayhem Tag Team Championships? We'll have to find out soon enough. But tonight, Damas And Xander going to start this one off, and Xander came running out the game strong, but Damas saw it coming. And that's what you got to do, get the early strikes, take an early advantage. Coach Wilson, as we know, not one to keep it quiet. At any point, he can just toss in a chair and tell the team to just pack it in and disqualify themselves, or try and use it as a weapon to cheat and get the win. Hasn't proven to be an effective tactic from Wilson, but it can be. We've seen it being used correctly, but it also saw it cost Elijah Steele, I believe it was Elijah Steele, his spot in the Road to Glory tournament, or it might have been Jackson Wagner. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I know it definitely cost somebody. Oh no, it was Designer Kai. Yeah, of course. Designer Kai eliminated from the tournament by following Coach Wilson's tactics. And a little bit of switch-up in tactics from the Linebacks. Usually, as I said last time out, Kazari and Xander, not usually the starter of the match, more of the closer. But once again, he comes in to start the match. Damas, no surprise, starting it. And the League of Gods growing in popularity day by day. A few of you have been talking about them to me in the comment section. Also in the WIW Discord, which if you are still not a part of, be sure to go onto the website, worldinternetwrestling.com, and there should be a little clickable icon where you can join our Discord chat, and it's got a bunch of WIW fans and participants in there. You guys would love it, trust me. And now look at this, Kazari and Xander with a beautiful suplex off the distraction from Coach Wilson. And as Black Jesus gets tagged in, well, these two teams we knew would bring a classic. And once again, we get to see it here tonight. Well, it's the Greek Gods, or not the Greek Gods, the League of Gods, excuse me, and the Linebacks going hammer and tong here. Who can walk out the victor this week? We'll have to find out, but we're going to take a quick commercial break, so don't you go anywhere. Dormus, the new fragrance by Dormus. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to World Internet Wrestling here on Monday Night Mayhem, and we are here back with the League of Gods versus the Linebacks, the Mayhem Tag Team Champions. And look at this, Damas with a big sequence of punches, trapping Green into the corner. However, you never want to have Patrick Green in the corner, because that type of power can come and cause some problems. And been a pretty 50-50 match, back and forth between these two. Jesus having a tag out, as did Kazarian. But I believe Kazarian hasn't made another tag since the break begun. And Damas, even in his own matches, promoting Damas, the new fragrance by Damas. Be sure to get yourself a nice bottle of Damas. It's a fantastic scent, I can assure you. And I definitely have tried some in the past. Fantastic scent indeed. And now Green, look at this, taking the Greek God out to the outside. And the League of Gods, as I say, they've beaten these two on two different occasions, in fact. They know what it takes to beat the Linebacks, and they will know full well the capabilities of them, of what the Linebacks can do, because they've seen it firsthand. But at the same time, last week, when they had the best chance they could to show that they were worth of going for the Tag Team Championships, they were unable to capitalize. And now look at this, as the count rises. It looks like Green might be trying to sneak the victory here, maybe on count out to count of 6. Oh, but he's tossed him back into the ring. Maybe in fear that Damas would do the same. Damas going to crawl to make the tag, and he reaches it. In comes Black Jesus with the big shoulder tackle, and a big boot to follow as well to keep Green down for a second. And there we go, that's the chair I was talking about earlier. No shame in calling a DQ in a non-title match, said Coach Wilson. And back in comes Kazari and Xander. And the chair got kicked out the ring accidentally there by Green. I don't think he realized he had sat on it as it came into the ring. And look at that spinning back fist. A spinning back fist, but Xander's pretty much just shaking it off, and off the distraction from Black Jesus. From Coach Wilson, Jesus is down. Unbelievable there. I mean, obviously we knew Wilson would distract, but just Kazari and Xander with the strength to just shrug off that massive shot. That was definitely a big surprise there. But will he be able to kick out of this so easily? This could be the moment for the League of Gods to take control and take the win in this match. Dominator Jesus with the Greek bomb. And straight into the cover of the Greek bomb. Is that going to be enough? No, the referee is distracted by Coach Wilson. Dharma's just trying to get this cover happening, but Coach Wilson distracts the referee and prevents the cover from occurring. And that's the advantage of having Coach Wilson, a man who will do whatever it takes to see that his team comes out the winner. He handpicked Xander and Green, and he knows that. And of course, he probably won't be at lockdown for any title defense that they may or may not have to partake in, because they know that it's going to be lockdown, which means it's going to be a cage match of any kind, and it could mean it most likely would mean that Xander and Green will be on their own. But of course, in extreme conditions such as cage matches or Hell in a Cells, these two, I have no doubt in my mind, would excel. And now Irish Whip to the corner. Going to make the tag. He does. And now look at this. Is he setting up for another one here? A second Greek bomb to Kazari and Xander. And straight into the cover. But once again, the referee distracted by Coach Wilson. And the referee surely has got to do something now. How has Wilson not been ejected here? He's been throwing chairs into the ring, distracted the referee. The referee hasn't been able to make a single cover due to all of the distractions. And the tag is made now. And Xander desperately needed to get out of there. 2 Greek bombs. And still they fight on. And of course, a count hasn't even occurred yet. That's the first cover in the match, and that's even a 0. And now look at this. Oh, Northern lights the Darmus, who rolls out the ring. And now Xander and Green have Black Jesus all to themselves. Look at that slam from Patrick Green. And Green, oh, and a leg drop as well. And the Linebacks can take advantage here. See, this is the effect of Coach Wilson. He helps them keep control, helps them maintain their dominance throughout the match. But we know full well that Green and Xander are capable of doing it themselves. But so far, they really have struggled in this match. The League of Gods with the obvious control. But of course, because of the interventions of Coach Wilson, they haven't been able to keep the control. And now look at this. Another distraction. And Jesus trying to deal with the coach, but he's not getting much success. And once again, Green takes advantage. And Green and Xander, you can sense they're in trouble. I've never seen Wilson get involved this much in a span of like 5 minutes. He can sense that they're in trouble here and that the League of Gods are putting on a fantastic fight. Green sends him to the other corner. There's the splash. No! Well sidestepped. Well sidestepped by Black Jesus, and he connects with the spinning back fist. And once again, the referee being distracted by Coach Wilson. And there's only so much more that the referee's going to take from Coach Wilson, surely, before sending him away and ejecting him. Oh, look at this, getting caught taunting here. Patrick Green. Oh, just the massive strength of Black Jesus. He's going to drag him to his corner. Might be looking to tag in Darmus maybe, but Darmus doesn't look ready to come in. Oh, look at this, playing to the crowd here. Jesus maybe sensing a recovery here, or at least the ability to take the lead in this match, or if they haven't already. But Green and Xander trying to maintain control, but they're in trouble now, because the big thing is coming. Jesus going big here to deal with Patrick Green. Nothing that Wilson could do about this. Superplex to the outside. Darmus and Black Jesus putting it all on the line here to capture a win against the Linebacks. And what a big win it would be. You've got to imagine they'd be #1 contenders if they could do it. The count is rising. And Xander and Green are struggling. There is only so much more that they can physically take in this match. And Xander and Green are in serious jeopardy of walking away the losers here tonight. They won last week. But this week, when they have been called out for a rematch, they've answered the call. But they are struggling to cope. A count of 7 now. Jesus not coming back into the ring just yet. At the count of 7, Darmus brings Green back into the ring for him. And then at count of 8, he gets in He did well to prevent the tag, though, there from prevent the tag of Kazari and Xander, and now Patrick Green with an inverted DDT. And now scooping him up, trying to get him into the corner. This is where he doesn't want to be. He's a very dangerous man in the corner. Multiple moves he can hit you with, and one of them being this massive charging splash in the corner. Splash in the corner to Damas, and now backs him up back into the corner. And that's exactly where Green's going to keep you if he can. And that's a beautiful move there. Or might have been charging up for the spear, but he saw Jesus on the run. And Jesus tried to take advantage, gets him up in the fireman's carry position. Couldn't hold it. And now once again, looking for that big slam down to Black Jesus. And Jesus is in trouble. He needs to fight a way back here if he can. And now look at this, aeroplane spin. Oh, and a big slam down as well. Oh, but look at this. He wants to tag out. He wants to tag Xander. But Damas is being tagged as well. Tag in, and in comes Damas, and Green didn't tag out. Xander was too tired to be tagged out. And Damas trying to build a head of steam, but Green just shakes it off. And now with Damas rolled out the ring, they've got him where he wants him. Oh, and look at this. They're going to get a bit of revenge themselves. Well, he's already been hit on the back with this move. But now looking to do the same to Damas. Outside superplex, and look at that, Green. Green landed on the chair. And look at his back, he felt that. Coach Wilson inadvertently just had Green shot in the back with a chair. And now look at this, the teamwork. Oh my God, look what the chair is, and he's face planted him onto the chair. Damas hit with the double team, and it lands him right on the chair. The referee continues his count, begging him to get back into the ring. Big kick to the gut, big sequence here from the League of Gods. Oh, and this, he got caught being flashy there, Damas, and that's always his biggest problem. Suplex, again landing on the chair, and that chair came into more effect than we thought it might have done when it was kicked out of the ring. The count of 7 now, and Green might be thinking about getting him back in the ring. He does. And at a count of 8, the match resets, but now in the corner charging up maybe. Oh no, just going to take the time to rest, to taunt. He thinks he's got this one in the bag. Damas is definitely hurt and in some discomfort. First the outside superplex, then the double team onto the chair. And the League of Gods starting to feel the effects of this match. And what has been an amazing opening contest to the show. Big shot to the jaw by Jesus. By Damas, the Greek god himself. And now into the corner from Kazari and Xander. That's not where you want to be. He's charging up for the running haymaker. Running haymaker by Patrick Green. And now gets him straight up on the shoulders, not wasting any time, looking for an aeroplane spin again. Damas, he knows full well about that aeroplane spin. He's felt it before, he does it himself. And now in comes Kazari and Xander, who we know is usually the closer for the team. Now looking to put the icing on the cake here to wrap up the League of Gods. They've definitely had some help here. You could imagine that they've probably already been beaten in this matchup had it not been for Kazari and Patrick's coach, that of Wilson. And now look at this. The Greek god still fighting back. There's a backstabber. Greek god doing all he can here. He might want to tag out though. He has taken some hits. And wisely he tags. But Jesus, out of the 4 men in this ring, probably has taken the least amount of massive bumps. But he's been delivering them himself. And now look at this. Wilson causing the distraction. Xander finds a counter anyway. And he's now going to fire back into his corner. And look at this. The referee gets taken out as it happens. The referee was trying to reattach the turnbuckle that was loosened by Coach Wilson. DDT is the DDT, the crash into the rest of the referees actually helped him. Green, oh, nearly picks up the win, a count of 2. And once again, the Linebacks doing whatever's necessary to walk out the winners here. Oh, well, wait a minute. Jesus from out of nowhere, spinning powerbomb to Kazari and Xander. Oh, but look at this, another distraction. How is he still here? And Xander slowly has found his way back to his feet. He's caught Damas. He's caught Black Jesus. And now Jesus is in trouble. Hits a spinning powerbomb, now going to be made to pay for it. The Linebacks in formation for the blitz. For the blitz, and it connects perfectly. Is Damas going to be able to break it up in time? Yes, he is. And they're not going down that easy. Coach Wilson giving them every opportunity to put this match away, and yet they have still been unable to do so. And now look at this, now trying to maybe go for the submission. No, just back press. Crushing his face onto the apron. On a big dodge there by Jesus, who is trying his best to fight back in this match, but all of a sudden the control has been lost. But look at this, he's going high risk here. Top rope, but look at where Xander is. Xander's going to stop him. No, he isn't! Flying headbutt by Black Jesus. Now might look to tag out if he can, but look, Dharma's saying he's too tired. He doesn't want to come back in, but Jesus saying he's hurt as well. With the League of Gods trying to stay in control here as much as physically possible. I'm not sure how much they have left in the tank, especially after the blitz that was just hit. And now look at this. A nice little deadlift overhead suplex there from Damas. Damas still trying to fight back, and he connects. He connects with the shot. And once again, the referee is distracted by Coach Wilson. And the referee surely needs to eject this man. He still hasn't, but now he's in trouble here. Once again, the Linebacks in formation for the blitz for a second time. Xander and Green with the blitz. Can they stop Damas though? It's too close to his corner again. And once again, the Linebacks can't make it back. And now look at this, Green trying to deal with Damas, but Damas gets rid of Green. And he caught Xander on the way through as well. Damas has done well there. But Damas desperately needs to get in here now, make a tag to his partner. Big uppercut there from Black Jesus, and a big chop as well. And now look at this. He's caught him, and with his partner's down, spinning powerbomb. This is it. This is the end of the match right here. No! Wilson stopped it. Wilson stopped the match. He pulled the referee out of the ring. And this is getting beyond the joke now. How is the referee still allowing him to be here in this match? How is Wilson still allowed to be here? I've seen people get ejected for much less than that. But once again, Wilson keeps the match alive by pulling the referee out of the ring and stopping the count that was surely about to win the match. Well, this is just the opening of the night, and it's already a pay-per-view quality match. And the Linebacks doing whatever's necessary just to survive here at this point. The comeback has been sensational from the League of Gods, who started off strong, then thanks to Wilson, lost the control, but they've regained it. And then to the cover. Is that going to be enough to put away Jesus? He's taking some hits here, but not enough to keep him down for free. And Xander and Green just keep switching things up now, making the tags. But Coach Wilson, somehow, some way, has been kept here. And look at this. Referee just blatantly shoulder tackled down by Patrick Green. And surely this match has got to end in disqualification soon enough. The Linebacks doing whatever they feel is necessary to get a job done here. And Black Jesus taken down with the shoulder tackle. And now being picked up. Patrick Green, Irish whip to the corner. Not where you want to be. For a number of reasons, not charging for the haymaker. Instead, it's for the splash in the corner. And there's not much left in the tank for the League of Gods. They might be dropping the loss here, the win here. And there's the spear by Green. We've seen that wrap up matches in the past. But the question is, can Damas get in there and break this one up in time? Xander gets round quickly to stop him, but Jesus kicks out on his own account. Jesus kicks out at 2.5. Unbelievable. And both the Linebacks tossed out the ring. This match has been going for a solid length of time now. And yet neither team is backing down for a second. And now look at this. Begging the League of Gods to get back to their feet. And he's gone for Jesus there. And a beautiful little hip attack there by Patrick Green. Oh, and a big shoulder tackle by Black Jesus to give himself some space. He's trying to fight back here, but look at this! Green, Xander and Wilson doing absolutely everything that they can physically do to walk out of the winners here tonight. And I'll tell you what, I've never seen such a hard-fought match in the tag team division in a non-title match. A referee, he just blatantly just hit him. He just blatantly hit him. How was that not a disqualification? Black Jesus just got hit by the coach. And yet this match continued. Oh, went for the spinning back fist. Well dodged there by Patrick Green. And that might have set him up for big time trouble as another tag is made. What are they thinking here? Lifting him up. Oh, and a leg drop from Kazari and Xander. And the referee is being ridiculous at this point. He just blatantly hit Black Jesus. And yet this match is not over. He's not disqualified. And he's still at ringside distracting the League of Gods. Surely the referee has got to get him out of here. This is beyond a joke. DDT! And it's a joke that's probably just cost the League of Gods the match. Darvis in no condition to help him. The Linebacks win. And that's a disgrace. We've seen the Linebacks cheat their way to victory before, but never that much and never that badly. What a disgrace from the tag team champions. Oh, look at this! Beating him down further. They're not even done with him yet. The League of Gods beaten down thanks to Coach Wilson, and now being beaten down after the match. And the Linebacks once again dispose of the League of Gods. But how much more of an advantage do you need to pick up a win against the League of Gods? Well, no one is going to be happy about that, but the Linebacks are your victors here tonight in the opening match, and what was a fantastic tag team encounter, all cheating aside. But once again, the Linebacks reign dominant. Let's move on down the rest of the card, but commiserations to the League of Gods. They did give it their all here tonight. Next up tonight, some women's action, and we get to see the joy of having the Mayhem Women's Champion in ring action here tonight, which is not good for her opponent because, of course, need to remind you the last time we saw Sandra Piper in the ring, she choked Elliot Rogers to unconsciousness and has left her in severe harm, in severe pain and discomfort. She's going to be out for a while, but the Women's Champion is here again, Sandra Piper, the most dominant force, I think, in all of WIW at the moment, because she has not only just been capturing victories, not only been defending her title, but she's also done it with sheer power, with sheer dominance, and there is no one that is even coming close to slowing her dominance down. She's been so powerful as of late, and it's almost unreal what the performances that she's been displaying. And the Mayhem Women's Champion is here to stay. She has no intention of losing the title. As we know, Catherine Albright right now looking like an eligible contender to be facing her at Lockdown for the title. But tonight, she faces someone else in desperate need of some in-ring action. It's Halie Bowen. Halie Bowen ready to step up to the fight, to the Mayhem Women's Champion. She's a braver woman than most to be stepping up to Sandra Piper at this point, because Sandra has just been so dominant, so unstoppable. But Halie Bowen wants to take the opportunity that she is given. And of course, a big win against the Mayhem Women's Champion. Firstly, I believe she'd be the first person to do that. And secondly, that would pretty much guarantee her a Mayhem Women's Championship match at Lockdown. We don't know what to expect from the women's division at Lockdown, but what we do know is that Sandra Piper will be in attendance, defending her title here, and we'll see what she can do. And the referee's getting this one on the way, but look at this. Well, she did this to her last week, or the week before, I believe it was, and now Catherine Albright repaying the favor. She was here to watch the women's champion at work, and Sandra doesn't like this one bit, but the mind games is playing back, and karma comes back around here tonight. Catherine Albright in attendance to watch Halie Bowen face Sandra Piper. And I tell you what, Sandra Piper is not someone what you want to anger. And look at that, she's saying she's going to make an example of Halie Bowen there. Oh, look at that. What the hell? She just appears behind her. But Halie Bowen's not phased at all. She didn't let that affect her at all to get this one started. And now look at this, Halie Bowen in trouble here as her full head of steam is built for the belly-to-belly suplex. And now look at this. The Sandra Piper ruthlessness, aggressiveness, just beating her down, ground and pound style on the apron. Enough is enough of that, surely. And Halie Bowen. Well, I think Catherine Albright has just angered Sandra Piper even more. And now Halie Bowen about to feel the full effect of Sandra Piper's rage. And now picking her up. Oh, look at this big counter. Big counter by Halie Bowen. Trying to find some life in this match. Trying to fight her way back in. But already Sandra looking incredibly dominant as she always does. Look at that. Gets her behind for a German. What a match this has been so far. And it's only been a matter of seconds. And yet we're seeing all the big moves coming out here early from Sandra Piper. But Halie Bowen refusing to give in easy here. There's a big hooking leg suplex. And Sandra taking the time to taunt, knowing Catherine Albright is ringside watching. She's sending a warning, sending a message to her #1 contender. Strikes being traded between the two in the ring. Look at the massive power of those strikes and taken out to ringside. Taken out to ringside there. Sandra Piper gets her. And look at this, Sandra Piper saying, you better be watching this. As she continues the beatdown of Halie Bowen on the outside. She's saying, you ain't going to get the better of me that easy. And Catherine Albright knows that. And look at this. Oh! And Halie Bowen tried to get behind, but Sandra just too smart, too dominant to let that happen. And Sandra just tosses her back in the ring. And even Catherine Albright, even playing her mind games, it just didn't work. Sandra Piper knew full well what she was going to do. And right now, there's just no slowing down this woman. But Halie Bowen trying to fight her way back into this match with a series of punches. And look at this. Albright has had enough. She's seen enough. She's leaving. She's not going to stay any longer. But Sandra Piper is actually in trouble here because Halie Bowen's starting to fight back in this one. But right now, Sandra Piper just continues to show her dominance every step of the way possible. She shows how dominant she can be. And now big kick to the gut. Halie Bowen trying to fight back here with a big suplex. Oh wait, no. Sandra Piper reads it well. Gets her from behind. Looking for a suplex of her own and connects. Halie Bowen trying her best to fight back, but Sandra Piper just with an answer to everything that Halie Bowen is throwing at her. And there's a big clubbing double axe handle. What a dominant display she is putting on. And she doesn't look like she's slowing down at all. Oh, not again. This is what choked Elliot Rogers out to unconsciousness. And it might be doing the same here again if Halie Bowen can't find a way out of it. She does, though. She escapes. She escapes that monstrous grip. And now trying that suplex one more time. No, once again, Sandra Piper gets out of it and connects with a suplex of her own. Halie is trying everything, but Sandra is just too dominant. Scooping her up here. And another submission hold applied. Another submission. This time at least she tapped. And Sandra Piper picks up another monstrous victory. Oh my lord. Is there anyone that can slow this woman down? This woman is a freak of nature. Look at this. Another choke submission. A rack attack straight jacket style. And he once again puts another one choked out. And Sandra Piper, the women's champion, once again picks up the win. And even got a shot on Catherine Albright there as well. She's just too dominant. And she knows she's too dominant. Nobody can seem to slow Sandra Piper down. And at this rate, I don't see anyone capturing the women's championship. Catherine Albright believes that she can do it. But the question is, can she do it? Will she get her chance at lockdown? Will anyone even be left in the women's division to face her afterwards? I don't know, but it is time to move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, we have a title match. That's right, the Cruiserweight Championship, as the general manager alluded to earlier, is being put on the line tonight as Oliver Regem has requested a rematch on his home turf for the WIW Cruiserweight Championship following his loss at Final Conflict pay-per-view to Jake Griffiths, the new Cruiserweight Champion, who we get to see with the title for the very first time here tonight. It's going to be a tough one here for this man, the Cruiserweight Champion, Jake Griffiths, who comes down to the ring first, wearing that title for the very first time in his career. And Jake Griffiths, as I've said in the past, he's been promising for a long time change, a long time dominance, and that the year of the borough would come and he would become a champion. And he has done so right here, becoming the second ever Cruiserweight Champion, wearing that title around his waist. He won it at Final Conflict in a very 50-50 match with Oliver Regem, but then he absolutely embarrassed Regem by landing the Regem combo to Oliver Regem to pick up the victory. And ashamed and embarrassed and humiliated on away turf, he decides to take it to his home turf to cash in the rematch. He didn't want to waste any time, and now Jake Griffiths is here defending the Cruiserweight Championship for the very first time. And of course, on away turf, he hasn't had much success here on Mayhem, but he does have a victory on Mayhem here, Jake Griffiths. So there is definitely that. And Oliver Regem, now without the Cruiserweight Championship, makes his way down to the ring to cash in his rematch clause. And he desperately needs this one to get back in control, losing it at Final Conflict. He beat Travis to defend it on the Mayhem pay-per-view, but gets the Fight Night pay-per-view, and he loses it to Jake Griffiths. And he believes that it is only because he was on away turf and an away crowd, on an away brand, that he struggled to pick up the victory. And tonight he wants to prove that he is fully capable of capturing that Cruiserweight Championship. And he looks determined to do so. And he's ready to face for the Cruiserweight Championship here tonight. Remember, this is his rematch clause. He will not get another one if he can't capture the championship here tonight. And there is the title, the WIW Cruiserweight Championship on the line. A big, big matchup here in the middle of this card. The champion, Jake Griffiths, ready to defend his title here tonight in what is looking to be a huge opportunity for him to show his dominance. He promised the year of the borough. He promised to be a dominant champ. And he gets the chance to do that here tonight. And, and also, Jake Griffiths, the champion, I guess, ready to prove what he can do. Oh, God. Oh, this game is so broken. Jake Griffiths, the champion, ready to defend against Oliver Regem, not himself. That title that he holds up high. His first night with that title, and it's his first night defending it. Will it be a less than a day reign for Jake Griffiths, or will he be able to find a way to defend the title successfully? Cruiserweight Championship on the line here. What a card we've had so far. Can it continue here in this matchup? We're fully expecting it to. Jake Griffiths and Oliver Regem for the Cruiserweight Championship rematch. We're on the way. And Jake Griffiths, of course, and Oliver Regem very evenly matched last time out. Has either of them learned a new strategy? Have either of them learned a new tactic on what they're going to do to keep the other down? Jake Griffiths with the better of him on that occasion. But of course it was Regem that beat him and 4 other men the first time round. Regem beat him and 3 other men the first time round to capture the Cruiserweight Championship in the first place. But as we saw, these two evenly matched. Only one thing separated them last time, and that was the Regem combo, but not by Oliver Regem, by Jake Griffiths. And Jake Griffiths, he's been promising dominance for a long time. He's been promising he deserves to be champion and that he'd capture a championship around his waist this year, and he's already done it. And the Cruiserweight Championship is the title that he has managed to capture. And now look at this, looking for a springboard. Oh, what a beautiful connection. Very nicely done, and the crowd not getting behind him at all. Not a fan favourite, the borough. We know he's not really one to side with the crowd, not really the fan favourite, but he doesn't want to be. He just wants to pick up results. And Regem, we know, is capable of doing that as well. Former Cruiserweight champion as he is now. one of the best strikers we have in the business. You do not want to stand and trade punches with him, even though Jake Griffiths did stand and trade punches with him. He did the Regem combo to him, and it just shows that lethal combination's power. Regem's shown it more than enough times, and now Jake Griffiths showing the power of it as well. Not even Regem could kick out of it. It usually takes more than one, but Regem on the day just couldn't handle his own combination. It was just probably the element of surprise, the, you know, oh my god factor, that he's just been hit with his own finishing move, and that's quite embarrassing. And now Regem bringing him back to his feet. Of course, he's not going to go easy on him here tonight. He wants to embarrass him for what he did to him at the pay-per-view and to recapture his Cruiserweight Championship, become the first two-time Cruiserweight Champion. And now look at this Regem lining him up, getting him back to his feet. What's Regem thinking here? Looking to fly off the top rope, cross-body and into the cover. Is that going to be enough to recapture the championship? It's only a 1. But Regem looking good here, and now might be lining up for something bigger. To the corner. Jake Griffiths doesn't want to lose this match. He needs to defend. He needs to make himself look like a strong champion. As, of course, the saying goes, you are not the champion until you have defended your title at least once. And tonight, those words couldn't be echoing more true through the heads of Jake Griffiths, who's trying his best to prove he is a dominant fighter and that he can be a dominant champion here. He got a point to prove, and he's trying to prove it. But once again, these two are just two evenly matched fighters. These two, it could go either way. It comes down to who lands the finishing blow at this point. Into the corner, and Jake Griffiths looking to do just that, lining him up for that super kick on the top turnbuckle, and connects with it. And the Burrow playing once again into the crowd, saying he's got this. He knows what comes next. Jake Griffiths, the Cruiserweight Champion. Oh, look at this. Oh, wearing down the limbs here of Regem, just to soften it up, make it life a little easier for him. Regem still trying to fight back, though. Not going to give up as easily, in a massive clothesline by Oliver Regem. Regem trying to get him up here. Couldn't quite get it done. Oh, and now look at this. In trouble here. Jake Griffiths, what's he lining up for? Pile driver. Pile driver from Jake Griffiths. Bringing out all the moves here tonight to get the job done. And now, Jake Griffiths, as Regem down on one knee, finds a way to power out. And now look at this. There's the next snap. And looking to follow through. Yes, he does. Very nice work there from Oliver Regem. And now Regem bringing him back to his feet. That could be worrying signs. Oh, no. He caught the discus clothesline and hits him with an arm drag over the top of his shoulders. And now Jake Griffiths trying to capitalize himself. Wasn't allowed to do so. And now Regem just trying to create some distance, create some space. These two evenly matched. And he knows that. But Jake Griffiths right now having an answer to all of the big strikes that he usually does. Oh, look at this. Sunset flip. Bridging through into the cover to retain the Cruiserweight Champion. This could be it. He only gets a 2 count. Jake Griffiths doing whatever he can to retain. But like I say, these two are just so even. But it's going to take one big move from one of these fighters to get the job done. And it looks more likely right now that Griffiths is going to land it. Because right now, no discus clothesline hit. The super kick has hit once, but it didn't prove to be very effective. There's a snap suplex from Jake Griffiths. And now Griffiths lining up for the bunny hop, maybe. For two Regem. Regem's in trouble here. He looks for the bunny hop. Regem needs to do something. And he can't. The bunny hop connects. And it only took one last time to wrap up the match. Is that going to be it? Has he retained the Cruiserweight Championship? No! Regem kicks. I bet that was the last thing that Jake Griffiths would have wanted to see tonight. Kicks out of the bunny hop. Well, the Cruiserweight Champion thought that was it. And now it's back to the drawing board, where he's looking to fly here and show off that Cruiserweight Champion acrobatics. And now Oliver Regem. All of a sudden this 50-50 match is going 60-40. He needs an answer, and he finds one there with the leg takedown. And now playing to the crowd. Doesn't see Griffiths getting back to his feet. This might be a mistake. Oh, but Griffiths stunned by that takedown. He was hit face first. Big shoulder tackle. And an atomic drop to follow. That's going to leave a mark. Followed up with a scoop-up slam. And now Regem, just like that, finds his way back into the match. Looking for the discus clothesline. And this time connects. He goes straight into the cover, not wasting any time to recapture the Cruiserweight Championship. 2.5, and how close was that? That is worrying signs for for Jake Griffiths. And now if he can connect with the Regem combo, this might be all over. Trying to get him behind. Oh, and a beautiful slam in the middle of the mat. Straight into the cover off of it. And he thinks that's enough to capture the Cruiserweight Championship. No, it's a 2.5. 2.5. And just like that, as soon as it goes 60-40 one way, it goes straight back to the 50-50 matchup that we've had between these two on 2 separate occasions now, looking for a neck breaker. Oh, referee, that's a low blow. That's a disqualification. Surely. Or maybe that was the goal. Maybe he was trying to get himself disqualified. The referee didn't call it. And now he's lined him up. Super kick in the corner. That low blow has given him the advantage here. And now look at this. Grounding and pounding. Making him pay for all the shots he's getting off here. What a fantastic encounter has been between these two. And now lining up to wrap it all up. Regem's in trouble. There's the bunny hop once again. Surely that's done it. And this all came about from the low blow. Griffiths retains. Griffiths retains. And that was a low blow. How did the referee not call that? I mean, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because he wouldn't have lost title on disqualification. He had champion's advantage. But once again, Jake Griffiths, he defends the Cruiserweight Championship on away turf as well. So he can't even use that excuse anymore, Regem. He's lost rights to being Cruiserweight Champion. But look at this, Jake Griffiths not done. Trying to put him in the hospital ward, as he has tried to do at Final Conflict. But once again, Jake Griffiths sends his warning. He sends his mark. And he's ready to prove to anyone what he is capable of. We have a successful defense here from Jake Griffiths, and Regem, it's back to the drawing board now. But first, I think a trip to the hospital. Let's move on down the rest of the card. Fantastic matchup once again between these two. Next up tonight, it is a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. So far, we know that Aaron Albright, Brad Skeens, and Stephen Miller, that's the other one, will be competing in the Elimination Chamber for the WIW Championship. Tonight, as the general manager said at the opening, it is Original Brad's turn to qualify. So far, hasn't been quite successful on his trip over to Mayhem. He did pick up a victory. He hasn't picked up a victory as of yet. Participated in the European Championship match, where he was rolled up to be eliminated, which I'm sure was a little bit of a low blow from Original Brad. He then challenged Stephen Miller to a match where he was defeated, but he shook his hand gracefully. Brad, we know, is all about respect. He shows respect to other people and he gets it right back. He's a very well-respected, high-regarded superstar. And tonight, the former world champion, the first ever world heavyweight champion, no matter what, he'll always have that to his name. He will always be the first world heavyweight champion. Tonight, he tries to qualify to capture his second world championship and meet the others inside the Elimination Chamber. Well, Brad, he doesn't know who his opponent's going to be, but I don't think he was expecting this. It's Road to Glory winner, James Rowley. James Rowley, fresh off his win against Alan Hart, tonight steps into in-ring action against Original Brad. And what a unique matchup. Two very different styles of fighters here. Tonight gonna collide inside the ring for a spot in the Elimination Chamber. Well, James Rowley, of course, deserving this opportunity. Can't remember the last time he lost, if at all, other than in the tag team matchup where he was part of Team SDC. But James Rowley, tonight stepping back into the ring inside the ropes. And this time he goes up against Original Brad. He steps up against the former world champion. And if he wins tonight, he definitely deserves his shot at the big time. Well, James Rowley and Original Brad, two top fighters. But who can get the job done? Original Brad, James Rowley. The bell rings and away we go. Who will join Steve Miller, Brad Skeens, and Aaron Albright inside of the chamber? And look at this, straight out the gate here. James Rowley going straight at him here. But already, Original Brad finds a counter. And Brad, as we know, very good fighter, very strong, very physical. likes to land the big strikes, and we know that battle axe finisher that he has is very lethal. One of his biggest weaknesses, though, submission defense. It has cost him on several different occasions. And, of course, it lost him his first world title, losing on submission, and then lost him the rematch by also losing in a submission match. Submission defense, we know his biggest weakness. But other than that, he's a very well-rounded fighter. That's the only thing that's really lacking from his game. But I tell you what, if he was to develop that, he might just be on to conquer the world, because his strength is very hard to match for most people. As for James Rowley, a very unique fighter, loves to be very confident, collected, and he always knows what he's going to do when he gets into the ring, and he can take a punch. That much he has shown. He definitely knows he can. We know it for a fact that he's willing to take the hit, take one for the team if it means building for further success. His biggest weakness, though, his ego. He's very confident and collected, as I said, but at the same time, he has those brief moments where he tries to show off. He tries to add some flair to the match, and that's usually where he makes his biggest mistakes. And that cost James Rowley before in the past. Is that going to cost him here tonight a chance to get into the chamber? Brad with the first 1 count of match. And James Rowley kind of on the back burner here as Brad is advancing forward. And Brad providing a lot of counters here tonight. He's looking impressive out the gate. But James Rowley, oh, look at this. Oh, I thought he was going to fly in, but Brad saw what he was doing coming. Looking for an inverted DDT, but well scouted. And into a suplex. And James Rowley has made it clear on a couple of occasions he's been wanting title opportunities. He believes he would have been suited for the Cruiserweight title, and he still could. And Jake Griffiths and James Rowley, that's a matchup that I'm sure a lot of people would love to see. But for now, James Rowley getting the opportunity at the big one, the big time. This is his big moment. And I don't even think he was expecting to be pushed this high to the top of the WIW Championship rankings as quickly as he did. And now looking to make Brad suffer here. Brad's in trouble. Hooks the leg, looking for the 619. Brad's in trouble. 619 connects. And now follows through with the splash. And now playing to the crowd. And that's what I was talking about. He's got Brad down and now needs to take advantage. Instead, he's taunting. Oh, but he's looking for the flying knee now. He lines up for the flying knee. He's saying it's over. Brad's in trouble here if he can't escape it. Knee across the jaw. Good night. James Rowley qualifies for the eliminate. No! Brad kicks at 2. Brad kicks at 2. And we were saying earlier, Brad can take a punch, and he's proving it there. Those were some big strikes he just took, but he shakes them off. And now look at this electric chair. Brad bringing out some new moves here tonight. Not slowing down, trying to get himself back in this one. Now playing to the crowd, very much a fan favorite here, Original Brad. He's very much a tough guy, but he's very much a fan-oriented person. And now look at this, Original Brad going to the top with the arm twisted. Rowley's in trouble, looking for Old School and connects. Old School connects. And look at this, this is Brad. He doesn't taunt, he doesn't take time to waste time. Calls him up for the battle axe right in the middle of the ring. Battle axe from Original Brad. Oh, but look at this, he's not done. He's not done. He's just not settling for it. He didn't go for the cover. That could be a costly mistake. But look at this, not giving him a second to breathe. He wants to make sure that he can wrap this one up when he goes for the cover. There's the big boot. And the leg drop as well. Brad being smart here, taking all precautions. He hasn't had a win in quite some time in-ring action. And he wants to make sure that he solidifies himself into the chamber here tonight. He's now going for it for a second time in a matter of a minute. Original Brad has got James Rowley in some trouble here. Old School once again. And now Brad, what's he think? He's going for the cover this time. James Rowley's in trouble for Brad to qualify for the chamber. No, it's a 2.5. 2 Old Schools and a battle axe. And still the job is not done. And that's the resiliency of James Rowley. And look at this. Still finding a way to fight back, not giving up. Still stands. And now to the corner. He's trying to provide a fight back here himself. But look at this, Original Brad's not going to let it happen. And now Brad lining him up. If 2 Old Schools couldn't do it, maybe the second battle axe could get the job done here. Battle axe again. Second battle axe. And surely now, this has done it. Brad to qualify for the chamber. He's done it. What a victory! What a victory for Original Brad. He's done the job. He's going to the chamber. What a fantastic encounter. And Original Brad gets the job done here tonight. And Rowley put up a fighting effort, but once again, the fan favourite, Original Brad, gets the job done, but another fan favourite, unfortunately, doesn't get his shot. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait, Brad. Wait, Brad, what's he doing? What's Brad doing? No, Brad, this is not necessary. Oh, look at this. And what is this side of Brad we're seeing? We've never seen him do this. Oh, no. Brad, oh, crashing Rowley into the steps. Well, he already had him beat. Why did he do that? Well, it looks like Brad, after a series of big losses, has finally snapped. And he takes out his anger and frustrations on James Rowley. Wow. Brad, I did not see that one coming. Original Brad ambushes James Rowley, but he is qualified now for the Elimination Chamber. Well, that's a big one, but it's time to move on to tonight's main event. Wait a minute. Wait, what's SDC doing down here? He's not supposed to be tonight's main event. No, tonight's main event is Albright and Skeens, but SDC has come down here and he's grabbed the microphone. Well, we don't know what this is about, but SDC wishing to address the WIW universe, so I guess we'll hand the mic over to him and hear what he says. Hey, Jaden, I know you're back there, probably still celebrating your win at Hellfire. The reason I'm out here interrupting the main event is because, by my count, we have one win each. So I'm calling you out for one more match at Lockdown pay-per-view, this time inside Hell in a Cell. So get your ass out here and tell me it's on. Oh my! A massive challenge issued by SDC. He wants to finish this rivalry once and for all at Lockdown, and Jaden now making his way down to the ring to answer the call. And Jaden and SDC haven't taken their eyes off each other for a second. Oh, now they have, because Jaden got to let the crowd know how tough he is. The two-time world champion being called out here for a challenge. Well, we'll see what he has to say in response right now, but SDC, I'm pretty sure he's confident about his chances of success, which is why he came out here and issued the challenge. But let's see what Jaden has to say about this challenge. Once again, it's your lack of intelligence that is your downfall. I think you seem to have forgotten that I, in fact, have beaten you twice now. Once at Hellfire, but also Team Jaden beat Team SDC. Or did you forget? So as tempting as it is to put you permanently in a wheelchair, I have already gotten the last laugh twice now. So my answer to your challenge is no. Wait, you're going to count that match? You didn't even pin me. So I think you'll find that you did not beat me twice. And as for your decline, I'm afraid that is the wrong answer. But don't worry, you will have till Lockdown to change your mind. But you should also know that I will be there to help you and support you through this decision every step of the way. But I wouldn't take too long deciding, because my patience is already running low. Well, Jaden says no, but SDC says he'll change his mind. But will he? And will we see these two face at Lockdown? Main event of the evening then, and it is two of our four known participants now for the Elimination Chamber. As we just saw tonight, Original Brad qualifies for the Elimination Chamber match to compete for the WIW Championship, and tonight we will see the two others that aren't the champion in ring action for what is going to be one hell of a contest. And the first man down to the ring is the former European champion Brad Skeens. Was given this opportunity in replacement of a rematch for the European Championship. This man believes, and most of his fans believe, that he is capable of being a world champion and that big things are to come for this man, and he's proved it so far in a small space of time. Brad Skeens, the first to qualify for the chamber. He stepped up when he needed to in a big match and pulled off the win. And then the week after, I believe, proceeded to beat the current champion of Aaron Albright. So he has stepped up big here and looking to make a statement, become the WIW champion. He'd be the first person to tackle, excuse me, it's the first person to tackle both singles titles on his brand, being the European champion, and then would go on to be the WIW champion. So big stakes here for Brad Skeens. And of course, enjoyed, I believe, a 2-month title reign as the European champion. Longer than Mason Foster, the 1 month, which is currently the shortest reign of any European champion. And of course, Jax Wolf not on the card tonight, but as the general manager has made clear, we'll be preparing to see who he'll be facing very soon at the upcoming pay-per-view. The European Championship, a highly contested title, and so is the WIW Championship, because that is the ultimate goal for everyone, including this man, the real deal Stephen Miller, who, as usual, is proving impossible to keep down for a count of 3. He does it for fun. He loves to keep fighting. He needs to keep fighting strong, and he qualified to the Elimination Chamber. And he's going to be one scary threat, and he's going to be coming up against original Brad, and I'm thinking that maybe he had something to do with Brad's little snap earlier after he dismantled James Rowley in his Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Maybe Brad's loss to Steve Miller a few weeks back was just the tip of the iceberg to put Steve Miller, to tip Brad over the edge. But they both qualify for the chamber, so they will encounter each other again, but this time with the title on the line. But tonight he has a bigger threat to worry about, because Brad Skeens looks ready to go. And here we go with tonight's main event. And into a suplex straight out the gate, not wasting any time here, is Brad Skeens. And Brad Skeens been on a bit of a roll lately. The fans have noticed his incredible performances, and they made it clear that they believe he's worthy of a world title opportunity. And wouldn't you know it, the general manager answered the call. The general manager, despite putting Brad Skeens through some harsh times and some tough matches as European champion, big clothesline from behind there. Despite putting him through these tough matches, the general manager says he's doing it to push Skeens. He has a lot of faith in Brad Skeens, and Brad Skeens has returned the favor and said if the Wolfpack tried to invade Mayhem again, that he will be there to protect it, because this is his brand and this is where he wants to be for the foreseeable future. And an early submission hold applied here from Steve Miller, but look at that, just wraps it all the way back round to his starting position and breaks out of it. As for Steve Miller, it's not a new burst of form for Steve Miller, of course, because Steve Miller has always been a dominant fighter, a dominant competitor, only with the one title match, though, on his resume, and that, of course, was a part of the Hellfire 6-man elimination match for Brad Skeens' European Championship, as it was at the time. That match, of course, was won by Jax Wolf, but it took nothing short than a finisher from every single person on this roster, every single person in this match, excuse me, to beat Stephen Miller, and it was Jax Wolf that managed to secure that final cover. And yes, so Stephen Miller is definitely the real deal, as his nickname would suggest. And of course, now going into his second title fight at Lockdown, but this time for the big one, for the WIW Championship. And we're getting to the bigger end of the year now, the second half, where the bigger pay-per-views are coming, the bigger events are going to happen, and of course, we're always building towards Insomnia, the greatest stage that is set to be in WIW history. Will be the greatest event, and it'll be the first ever one as well. What a way to make history here in WIW and complete the first full calendar year of Universe Mode. And now look at this. Oh, the ripcord knee from Steve Miller. We haven't seen him do that in a while, and Skeens retreating here, getting himself some breathing room. It's for Steve Miller, just watching him back to his feet, and these two never faced one-on-one, I believe, but these two would be an incredible contest one-on-one, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. A lot of dream matches as of late. The general manager, despite being harsher on the fans and on his superstars, he has definitely stepped up in the class of matches that he has been providing as of late. And Steve Miller, oh, look at that, several big running knees here, pounding away on Skeens on the outside. The referee's count is rising. And neither of these men just to take a simple count-out victory. And Skeens' Irish whip back into the ring. Oh, but look at this. What's Miller thinking here? Oh, look at this. Oh, swinging neck breaker back to the outside. And we've seen this chain before. He could do this 2 or 3 times in a row, and the referee can't do anything about it because Skeens keeps technically coming back to the outside. So Miller could do this all day long if he wants to. And there is nothing that Skeens can do about it unless he can provide a counter. But Miller not even giving him a chance to counter right now. Miller being relentless here, trying to wrap up the victory for the main event, and that one even crashed into the stairs. Beautiful work there from Stephen Miller, the real deal. Proving himself here tonight. Skeens once again tossed back there, and for a 4th time. And of course the referee's count resets every time. There is nothing he can do. Skeens needs to provide a counter to something. And he does. Back into the ring. He's taking a minute to breathe though, because he's struggling. Because Steve Miller just had several big swinging net breakers, and he hit the stairs at a couple of them as well. And now trying to get him back into the ring, trying to take him down here, and he couldn't do it. There's a little mini attitude adjustment, bringing him back to his feet. Skeens looking for something big, and he finds the clothesline he's been looking for. There's an atomic drop as well. Oh, and dropping through here. Oh, into a nice little leg drop and drop kick. Very nice sequence there from Brad Skeens, who's trying to fight his way back into this match. And he might be able to do so here, looking for a package pile driver. Connects perfectly in the middle of the ring. Or not in the middle of the ring, but he connects. And Skeens playing to the crowd. He's got Stephen Miller in a good position here to wrap this one up. Could be thinking potentially to go for the Anaconda Bite, the new submission that he has been developing as the last couple of weeks. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. From out of nowhere, tie driver. Where did that come from? Tie driver, but it's a rope break. Skeens' hand was under the ropes. Tie driver. Where the hell did that come from? And look at this. All of a sudden, a new lease of life from Steve Miller, who is refusing to just let Skeens walk away with this match. And now Brad Skeens bringing Steve Miller back to his feet, but Miller says no. Miller refusing to let him get control. Oh, he charged at him, and Miller made him pay for it. The real deal. Up against the true American that he is becoming. Wears that American flag down with pride, had the American side plates for quite some time, and now charging up, looking for the spear to wrap this up. The spear connects! And in the middle of the ring, he isn't going to have to worry about rope break. Brad Skeens, he's got this one in the bag. Steve Miller is down. Skeens wins. What a victory. What a hard-fought match indeed, but what a victory for Brad Skeens here in tonight's main event. He had to fight hard for it. Steve Miller didn't go down without a fight. A surprising tie driver from out of nowhere, and just managing to grab the rope to prevent the cover from occurring, but it's this vicious spear of Brad Skeens. Not many people do it better than Skeens does. And that vicious spear in the middle of the ring, nowhere to go, and Stephen Miller is beaten by Brad Skeens. Oh, wait a minute, look at this. It's Albright, the WIW champion, out here dealing with what he seems as his biggest threat to his title. You just see his neck bounce off the ropes there, the referee screaming at him to separate from the outside. That's not going to do any good. Oh dear, in trouble here. What's he thinking? Oh, look at that. Just drives his face into the mat. And Brad Skeens is sent a warning by the WIW champion, who intends to retain at the Elimination Chamber. Super kick to Skeens. Message received loud and clear. But for Aaron Albright, he can do all this, but when it matters, can he win the Elimination Chamber, and can he retain the title for the first time in that title's whole existence? We'll have to find out soon, but that is going to wrap up tonight's show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like if you did, comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace!